Hello humans, it's Stephen again. Today I'm playing Automobilista and I'm going to take a spin in this, one of the Formula Retro cars. The Formula Retro is a generic representation of a Formula 1 car from the 1970s, and so are the skins, but in this case I'm using a free mod downloaded from Race Department, which supplies the skins used in the 1975 Formula 1 series. I'll put a link in the show notes below. So, this is the Cosworth V8 3.0 made by Ford. I'll be up against Ferraris and McLarens, what have you, but where to drive it? Now, some of you, in fact many of you, may have watched the Formula 1 race at the Red Bull Ring in Austria this weekend. The Red Bull Ring is a fine circuit, but have you ever wondered why there are so many very sharp corners at the end of the straights? I'm thinking of the corner at the end of the home straight, the right-hander uphill, and in particular the absurd acute right-hand corner at the end of the long straight, which results in many crashes. Well, there's a good reason for that. The circuit was chopped in half. Welcome to the Österreichring, specifically the 1974 configuration. Now, Automobilista supplies both versions, the modern Red Bull Ring and the 1974 version, and also the 1977 version with an extra chicane. Let's watch this car go round one of the most fearsome, fast and beautiful circuits in motor racing history, and then I'll do a quick race against the AI. So here we are on the grid at the Österreichring in 1974. The cars are wearing the liveries from the 1975 season. I'm in the JPS Lotus, and right in front of me is Ronnie Peterson, also in the Lotus. To my left is Lella Lombardi in the March. She was the first woman to win an old-fashioned Grand Prix point, half a point actually, in the Spanish Grand Prix, which was cancelled halfway through because of a terrible accident. There are other famous names: Jacques Lafitte, Jean-Pierre Jarier, Jochen Mass, Mario Andretti, James Hunt, and plenty more. Now, this will be a bit of a bittersweet film. One of the reasons I'm making this film is to show that, in many ways, the Österreichring was much better than the present Red Bull Ring, but in other ways, it was much worse. Anyway, let's have a go. Hold up the revs and off we go. Now you'll recognise the home straight from the Red Bull Ring, and there should be a right-hander here somewhere, but no, we go straight up to the Hella-Licht corner, double right-hander. We'll take it easy because the tyres are cold. There's a little straight there, and then here's the other half of the corner. And then we're flat out through Flatschach, which is a left-hander. And then we brake for the Dr. Tirok curve, which is really tricky but exciting uphill right-hander. Camber goes negative, and then there's a crest, so the car really tries to shoot off the track all the way up there. Now you recognise this straight. This is known as the Valvoline Gerade, or Valvoline straight, and you recognise the stand, but we're going to go right up to the foot of it, into the Bosch curve, as you can see from the advertising hoardings there. And now a treat, something that's disappeared from road courses, a banked curve. And now into the strangely named Texaco chicane, which is not a chicane, it's actually two left-handers separated by a short straight. Snatch a few places there.
Clear. Car right. Still there. Clear right. Watch your right. Still there. All clear. Car right.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Right side.
Up the Rafe Eisenhögel. I hope I've got that right. There should be a right-hander, but no. Here's the Jochen Rindt curve, named after the Austrian 1970 world champion.
Keep left. Hold your right. Clear.
And after that rather hectic first lap, we've survived. Now this corner is where Mark Donoghue died in 1975, or rather, he had an accident, hit the hoarding, the fence here on the left, and a marshal was killed, most unfortunately, and Donoghue died from his injuries the next day. Whoops-a-daisy. It's a real battle between the wheel and the throttle to get up the hill in one piece. And you'll note the absence of runoffs. We come flat out into this corner, the Bosch corner, and there's no runoff whatsoever. If you get that wrong, you're straight into the hoarding. And as these cars were made mostly of metal and petrol, we probably burst into flames. This corner looks safe. You see the banking on the right? Well, Hans Stuck took a trip up there, and you may as well have put a ski ramp next to a corner, so both those corners were moved away from that hill to where they are presently. Now this corner I tend to drop a gear and then just let the car roll down, and then it tightens halfway, and then it's a matter of getting the power on, and terrifyingly the fence comes at you at 140 miles an hour. Now this curve, after Donoghue's accident, the curve was turned into one single right-hander rather than two connected right-handers, and in 1977 was actually converted into a chicane to slow this entire section of the circuit, and Automobilista supplies that configuration as well. Nice feeling of accomplishment if you survive coming over the brow of the hill there. Now incredibly, Derek Warwick was clocked at 214 miles an hour. That's about 340 kilometers an hour coming into the Bosch curve here in 1986. And if you'd like to replicate that, you can have a go in Automobilista's Formula Classic or Formula V10 and scare yourself silly. Formula Retro does a very nice job of simulating the feeling of sitting in a chassis that's bouncing between these massive pneumatic tyres. And if you get this curve wrong, you careen all the way downhill. There's a good chance to have a terrible accident. Now we're just getting into the toe of Andretti here, and this is where the circuit gets terrifying when you're in traffic at high speed. We enter this corner much faster now, 170 miles an hour. approaching 180 as we come into Dr. Tirok curve. I think that's Jones in the 30s. No, MC Hill, I think. Up there. There are some more illustrious names near the front of the pack, but I don't think I'm going to reach them. I'll get the nose turned and you can put the power on amazingly early because of the banked section. The car bottoms out. I've got the AI on high aggression and 103%. Whoa, he's lost it. So they will overtake me if I don't protect my position. It's Lafitte and the Williams. Oh, I've taken it in deep there. Oh, sliding about all over the place. As you can see, there are no runoffs. Oh Lord, here we go. That's Andretti and the Parnelli. It's going to be a braking competition. The car trying not to wander all over the place. There we go. It's nice to see that tree. It says hello every time. Now, Emerson Fittipaldi and Hunt the Shunt. James Hunt is up there in the Penske. No, Hesketh, sorry. Race fans cry out in horror as I get it wrong. I'm probably making numerous mistakes in pronunciation and facts. I do apologise. Getting close to that apex and get the power down, and that's it, the back end comes out nicely. That's it, let the car roll around and then it tightens, and that's it, get the power down. So it's a beautiful flat out circuit, but goodness me, what a nerve jangler. The outside, is it? Oh, almost. I was a bit late with the gear change there. That's Tom Price in front, and he died at Kyalami in a terrible accident.
Hold your line. All clear. All clear.
Oh, Lord. And there you can see just how easy it is to have an accident. Tom Price in the shadow just in front of Fittipaldi. And Tom Price and James Hunt, all famous names. I hope you'll agree that Automobilista have done a wonderful job in giving us a flavour of this amazing period in motor racing history. That's the checkered flag, and I could do more of that, but I'm glad I don't have to do it in real life. Now, before I go, I should mention that this video wouldn't have been possible without the help of Keith Wilson, who supplied the skins and the helmets and indeed the talent files for the Formula Retro 75 mod. The talent files is one of the reasons why I was stuck at the back and couldn't get near the front. And also I'd like to dedicate this video to some of the famous drivers who are no longer with us. Tony Bryce, Patrick Depailler, Mark Donoghue, Tom Price, Ronnie Peterson and Carlos Pache. I hope this video hasn't been too somber. Sim racing is supposed to be fun after all. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.